first off, what was it about the Seventh Day that did really appeal to you? And no spoilers, but were you surprised by the twists and turns that it took?
Well, I was. There were basically three areas of appeal, reasons I did the film. Number one was what got my attention, first of all, was the fact that Guy Pearce was going to be doing it, because I've respected him and admired his work for a long time. And this was the first opportunity we've had to work together. So that was definitely an attraction. Oh yeah, I'd like to do a scene. I'd like to do scenes with that actor. He's a good creative actor. You can always see. So that was one thing. Another thing was I had just recently done another film for this company, for Cinestate, a film called VFW. And that was an altogether positive experience for me, doing that film. And, that's not necessarily always going to be the case with films on a lower budget, particularly when there's a lot of whacking and smacking involved.
Yeah.
But that film was a very, very good experience, and from start to finish. So I was inclined towards being favorably inclined towards the company in the first place.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then the third thing was, once in a while, it's kind of fun and useful to play a smaller role where you have to kind of create the character in a very, kind of at a glance, almost.
Yeah.
Basically what I'm saying is the fact that I was not playing the lead or either the protagonist or the antagonist in the movie was actually kind of nice for me. Usually the bigger the role, the better. But once in a while, it's fine to kind of step in and play something, because, the Archbishop, I think he's an important part of the film in his way, but he's certainly not central to it at all. He's a very interesting color in there. So I like the opportunity of going in there and in essentially one scene, even though there are several scenes, creating a character.
And for you, I know a lot of people find religious horror, exorcisms, kind of one of the scariest subgenres of the horror, just because I think, especially for people who grow up surrounded by religion, they kind of see it as maybe more real or more dangerous. I'm curious if you came into this project with any kind of superstitions or anything like that.
Not particularly. I come in with it's not a superstition, but with the steadfast belief that no matter, we could make the best film in the world here, but we are still doomed to be only the second best Exorcist film ever made, because it's interesting. I mean, I think that the Exorcist sort of did for horror, or for religious horror films, kind of what the Godfather did for the mafia. It just does that. That's what it is. And so I think I like the idea of taking, being part of something that's sort of taking a shot at the genre a lot.
Yeah, no.
Superstitious person. I'm a superstitious person in a theater sense. We have a lot of, a lot of superstitions in the theater, and I observe them all, because why wouldn't I? I like to be superstitious because, my birthday is 7/11, which one can kind of consider lucky numbers if one is superstitious. So I like to think I'm lucky. So yes, but I didn't come on the set with any particular religious worries.
No, my birthday this year is Friday the 13th. So
there you go.
I'm with you there.
Would that be in August?
It is. So same date as Don't Breathe 2.
Me too, baby.
I'm ready. Now for this, this is kind of a different role for you, especially from what we've seen from you lately. You even said, you like the chance to be able to get in and do something that's a little different, even if it's a smaller part. But obviously the path recently, we've seen a lot of maybe antagonist or complicated and also physically demanding or imposing roles from you. Just, something like this does kind of shake it up a bit. How is it for you to be able to do something like this in contrast with some of the more well-known roles from recent years?
Well, it was a chance to immediately be a very articulate character, as opposed to say, the blind man, for example, was not particularly articulates in a very, very different way. I mean, I think the answer to the question is sort of a variation on what I said. There was every reason to kind of do it, to shape something kind of quickly. And, and in a, I don't know what to say about it other than it struck me when I read it, I could shape the part in a very, very specific way in a very short time. I guess that's a way of saying I sort of recognized this person. I knew this person, maybe not as an archbishop or anything, or, maybe not as a religious figure, but that sort of personality type, the CEO nature of the guy, I kind of got that. And I thought, I can just do that because, at the end of the day, what I am is an actor. And so I like to act. A day spent acting a role is good.
And I mean, do you ever feel that there is kind of like a box people try to fit you into? And how do you maybe push back against that?
Well, I don't know that I want to push back against it. I mean, look, if you got it's only rather, I don't believe that I've been typed, if that's what you mean. But
no, I don't either. But
I think people have maybe expectations of how my character is going to.
I'm losing the top of your head.
Behave. Am I back?
Yep.
Sorry. People have expectations probably, and I enjoy. I think it's a lot of fun to kind of fulfill those expectations and then bust them up when you can. So, I think at the end of the day, what I've always liked is when somebody has said something like, "I couldn't believe that was you. I didn't even know till 3/4 of the way through the movie that was you." I always kind of consider that to be, a real compliment to me because acting is transformative. That's sort of the school that I come from. It's really not so much about being me.